I rise to offer my support for the Transport Legislation Amendment, Better Roads Victoria and Other Amendments Bill 2018. There are many aspects of this bill that would benefit not only the district that I represent, but the whole of Victoria. The allocation of funds from traffic camera and on-the-spot speeding fines revenue into the Better Roads Victoria with fixed proportions to suburban, interface, regional and rural communities. Reducing the burden on the courts and applying mandatory minimum alcohol interlock conditions for serious driving offences are all significant positive steps forward. Firstly, I would like to speak specifically about the Better Roads Victoria Trust portion of this amendment. As a member for Melton representing both interface and regional communities, I acknowledge the importance and significance of this bill to my community if it is passed. The proposed fixed allocation of 33% for the repair and upgrade of roads in outer suburban and interface communities and 33% for the repair and upgrade of roads and level crossings in rural and regional communities would go a significant way to improving the road networks within my electorate. To put some context around how this bill could help my electorate, Acting Speaker, I would like to outline the following. The Melton District covers two council areas being Mirrabul Shire Council and Melton City Council. Collectively, these areas have road networks of over 2,485 kilometres, both sealed and unsealed. Currently, the replacement value of these assets is in excess of $1 billion. Not only that, the population of these two council areas is over 170,000, and Melton City itself is projected to have a population of over 470,000 by 2051. Making it almost as big as Canberra today. The lack of quality public transport access, poor linkages to key employment areas and the need to travel outside the municipality for work results in high dependency on cars as the mode of transport. More than 63% of households in the City of Melton have access to 2 or more vehicles, compared to 51% of Greater Melbourne. This means that 93% of residents in my electorate travel by car. This amendment would allow contributions to be made to the repair and upgrades of many of the roads in my district that require attention and to cater for the growth we are experiencing. Furthermore, my district has 2 major roads that require repair and upgrades, and I would like to talk about them specifically and how this bill might improve the standard of them. The roads are the Melton Highway and the Western Freeway. The Melton Highway connects the Western Freeway and Calder Freeway and provides the most direct route between Ballarat and Melbourne's northern airports, Tullamarine and Essendon, and surrounding suburbs. The part of the road that falls into my electorate has over 30,000 commuters travelling on it each day, with several new suburbs being developed alongside it, and it is only a dual carriageway. It also has other roads and businesses which directly access the freeway and cause serious safety concerns for commuters. The Western Highway is the second busiest national highway in Australia in terms of freight movements, with over 5 million tonnes annually. It provides the link between the eastern seaboard and South Australia and Western Australia. The Western Highway is characterised by age and rural standard freeway infrastructure in critical need of an upgrade to urban freeway standard from Melton to Deer Park. Planning approval for 6 additional residential estates directly adjacent to the Western Highway will see the construction of 55,000 new dwellings and an estimated 153,000 residents, all of whom will require access to the highway, resulting in significant increases in congestion over the next 2 years. The Western Highway currently accommodates approximately 60,000 vehicles per day. However, this is projected to increase to 85,000 vehicles per day by 2021 and 113,000 vehicles per day by 2031. The freeway requires improvements including an interchange at Bullmans Road, an interchange at Mount Cottrell Road, a pedestrian overpass bridge at Arnold's Creek, removal at grade access to the freeway, an overpass at Paynes Road, and an interchange at Harkness Road. Funds from this bill could be directed to these roads to improve the safety, specifically to reduce the risk and severity of head-on crashes, reduce road trauma, reduce the risk and severity of intersection crashes, cater for growth along the corridor, and improve access to local communities and businesses. Not only that, Acting Speaker, but it will also go a long way to improving the health and well-being not only of my constituents, but all commuters that use these roads. As a former paramedic, I know how important it is to invest in our roads. It is essential that ambulances are able to not only arrive at an incident in a timely manner, but ensure that our paramedics have the road infrastructure that enables them to access patients. And I know that's not only our paramedics, but all of our emergency services that require an up-to-standard road network to enable them to do their best work for our communities. The other part of the bill that I'm supportive of is the remaining 34% that can be allocated for level crossings anywhere in the state. For many years, growth has been occurring at a significant rate in my electorate. The level crossings on Station Road and Coburns Road are already at a stage that requires attention. A trip that used to take 5 minutes for parents dropping their kids off at school, like Coburns Primary School, can now take up to 25 minutes. Level crossings are a major concern in many electorates, and the provisions in this bill would see them rectified within a timely manner. Acting Speaker, I've spoken a lot about how the Better Roads Victoria Trust will benefit our communities. I would now like to turn my attention to the other aspects of this amendment. I've attended far too many incidents on our roads and witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of poor road conditions and drink driving can have on families and communities. This bill not only directs funds from the on-the-spot fines and traffic cameras to where the money should be spent, but is also ensuring that drivers that drink and drive have a mandatory minimum alcohol interlock conditions for serious driving offences, and that these offenders engage with the new mandatory behaviour change program for all drink driving and drug driving offenders. These proposed changes will also support our judicial system to focus on other matters, as VicRoads will manage the majority of alcohol interlock matters. I would like to note that the Andrews Labor government has already done much in this area, Acting Speaker. As part of the Project 10,000, there was a commitment to spend a minimum of $1 billion over 8 years allocated to repair and upgrade roads in Melbourne's outer suburban and interface communities, and also a minimum of $1 billion over 8 years allocated to repair and upgrade roads and level crossings in rural and regional communities. This government has exceeded its commitment to allocate $2 billion over 8 years on outer suburban and regional roads in only 4 years. In excess of $3 billion has so far been allocated, in excess of $1.9 million for outer suburban and interface communities, and over $1.1 billion for rural and regional communities. This amendment is essential to ensure that our roads are kept safe and those using vehicles on our roads are doing so responsibly and consciously. I support this bill. Thank you, Acting Speaker.